Back again. Already. So soon. This might continue. We'll see how this goes and how often this is going to happen because I have a feeling with 9:31 on the clock. I cannot make this stuff up. Even if I could, I wouldn't want to. It's just not how it works. So, to backtrack a little bit to the last video where I clearly bypassed why it is an honor to hold the names that I've held throughout my life. Badges, titles, whatever you would like to call them. I mean, my name's Angel. As much as I did not appreciate that when I was younger, I definitely did despise Angelique even more. I was only referred to as Angelique in school, and that was only because I started kindergarten with 5 other angels in my classroom. And that was just the decision that was made, and that's what was held. Everywhere else in my life, I was Angel amongst several other nicknames. Several other nicknames. A lot of my childhood peeps know me as Mange or Manjo, and that is because I apologize for my phone right now. That was not expected, and oops. Alright, that should not be as disruptive now. For just a quick moment. It looks like there was good stuff coming through there, though. Anyways, my little brother, somebody that I consider my little brother, even though I was raised as an only child or grew up as an only child. I wasn't really raised, and that's why I keep kind of correcting that, because it's normal to be raised, and I really wasn't raised. I definitely grew up. So there's a little bit of a difference there. He could not pronounce his M's, or I'm sorry, his A's and his L's. So instead of Angel, I was Manjo. And that picked up and carried on with all of my closest peeps for most of my childhood, even into some adult years, really. That was eventually shortened to Mange, which sounds terrible, but we all knew what it was and where it was coming from. So today, it's definitely an honor to be an angel. I don't take the name lightly anymore. I'm going to turn this light on over here and see what that does for us, actually. Is that better? That's no better, really, is it? Let's see here. Oh well, we'll just ride with it. Later in life, no. Let's back up further. I had my first daughter 3 months before I turned 16 years old. I was not your stereotypical teenage mother at all. My nickname was Prude at 16, and I was on a mission to raise kids. Thank you. So my coaching kind of started happening at a very, very early age, and then continued, because as I raised my kids, I was definitely coaching my kids. And at one point, I was very much so the coach. I was the cheerleading coach for my daughter's cheerleading teams. I helped hit or miss. I helped do, I suppose you could say, volleyball coaching as well, although never technical. I was certainly always coaching somewhere. Later on, after this whole, cannabis is medicine erupted in Michigan, I dove in head first, like I said, and put myself right on the front lines so I could help others understand what was going on, not only with cannabis as medicine, why it's medicine, why our bodies actually require cannabinoids. We'll get to that later. And I had the pleasure of being a part of a location that was absolutely spot on amazing for several months. We had a beautiful, beautiful atmosphere going on for the people in the area, and they loved it, and they flocked to it. In them flocking to it, I had another connection in my life happen. And that was, here we go. I don't usually do this, but yet it is important and it is an honor, and I'm just not about clout and gloat and things of that nature. It's simply an honor that somebody of this statute would recognize me in the ways that I was recognized in those times. Darren McCarty, let's clear that throat chakra. Darren McCarty, number 25, Red Wings Stanley Cup champion himself, came into where we were. And we knew he was coming. And so the actual team that ran the operation, we got to meet with him for a few prior to everybody else kind of coming in and having their moments. And because I had gained the amount of knowledge that I had in cannabis healing, and was also attached to specific products that are literally life-changing, I was able to give him a rundown and relief for his ailments in ways that he hadn't experienced to that degree up to that point. For those of you that don't know, Darren is very much so an advocate and has been for cannabis healing for a long time. He not only uses it to relieve his discomfort and his pain from his grueling years of hockey, but also alcoholism. And he discusses this, so I'm not, I don't have an issue mentioning those things. I was able to apply this product to his back and his hands, and within a very few minutes, we sent him off to go meet the rest of the location, which is usually what I did anyways after I applied the product to people. Because the things that happen are just absolutely amazing, and how quick they happen are, again, absolutely amazing. And it's a seeing is believing, by far not a placebo in any way, shape, or form, and downright amazing. So within just a couple of minutes of sending Darren off to go and play amongst the others that were there, he popped back out of our medicating room. Excuse me. And And just as anybody else is when they connect with this product, he was blown away. He had just sat back in the medicating room and felt relief like he hadn't experienced up to that point. And within a very short period of time of having small conversations with him while he was in and out, he announced that I was coach and the product was an absolute game changer. And he wasn't wrong. So I had the pleasure of passing along information and products that not many others had at the time. 11:01 on the clock. Can't make it up. Because it was not common knowledge at the time. I mean, please understand that Michigan alone is now 13, 14 years deep into gaining knowledge. So when we're talking 10, 11, 12 years ago, the people did not understand, but I did. And I was able to present it in ways that helped them understand very easily and very quickly. And so, hence, an absolute honor to be given the badge, be given the title, coach, by a man who understands what a true coach is and what that means in a world that most of us can only fathom. What was amazing about that, not as if that was not amazing enough, what was amazing about that is I had a family members who were our huge Red Wing fans. And one of these individuals spent a lot of years in a lot of misery in ways that, once again, we can only fathom. My family, I witnessed it, and it was not fun years for this individual. And what got him through his last years was absolutely watching those hockey games over and over and over again. That's all he could do, was lay in bed and do what he could to stay alive. And in doing that, one of the ways that he did that, and even the only way he did that for quite some time, was to watch those games and to watch Darren and Darren's teammates do what they did, especially in those years. You know, the fight video, like the fight, you know, I believe we just had the anniversary even of that. Darren and them did something really nice in commemorativeness of the massive ice brawl that took place back in the day. So it was not only an amazing honor to be called such a thing by somebody of that magnitude, but to have that very deep connection to knowing what it was that Darren and the Red Wings did for people when they didn't even realize. You know, I'm sure, you know, who thinks about somebody, you know, dying in a bed, and, you know, Red Wing games are the only thing helping to keep them alive. I witnessed it. Bird's eye view. It is what it was. So I ultimately got the blessing of being able to pass that information along to him, so that he did know what some people, how much some people appreciated all that he did and went through throughout his days. And he's still being an amazing advocate for cannabis as medicine out here in Michigan. He does a lot of work, and if you're not up to date with the things that he's doing, I definitely encourage you to go look into him. You know, he's got his hands in all kinds of pots. You know, just like he always has, and now it's just a little bit more on a personal level, I guess, because that's kind of what cannabis does. It brings things to a little bit more of a personal level. Thank you, Darren. Thank you. Smiles. Why is it an honor to be nicknamed Smiles? 1551 on this clock over here. 1555 on that one. Can't make it up. Clear it. Smiles. My life has been far from smiley. Far from smiley. Most people who grew up in my shoes would not be the person I am today. And that's not to discredit anyone and their stories or what they went through. It's just the truth of my story. Not many travel along as rough of a path as I've traveled. So when every time I left my home, a little bit later in life, every time I left my home and I was surrounded by these people and doing what I did, even beforehand, you know, any job that I ever was at, anytime I was out in public, I was smiling. I was doing my job. In most cases, it was an honor to be doing what I was doing and be able to help people in the way that I was able to help people, no matter what was going on in my personal life. So to have that nickname be given to somebody like me, who has just went through it in life, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to be one of those people that keeps smiling through it, no matter what. You know, I mean, we all have our days, don't get me wrong. Have them, still have them. We'll continue to have them, I'm sure of it. But it definitely is a completely different level than the first 41 years. I am at peace internally more than I ever imagined that I would be, or ever imagined that I wasn't already. Because I've always had an internal peace. Clear throat chakra, please. Thank you. I just kept going. I knew there was more. I knew it wasn't what it was supposed to be. It's not how I felt or wanted to feel. I wanted to be me and smile and be happy and pass along that beautiful, good, high-vibing energy. And I've done a lot of that in the last 13, 14, 15 years and previous even. But again, an honor to hold that nickname in there amongst some people, simply because they don't even realize how deep something like that can go for somebody. And sometimes they don't even realize it themselves until things connect later on. It's all connected, guys. It's all connected. We've been turned off from seeking that connection, having those automatic connections. We've been turned off from that for our entire lives. And 2020 on the clock again. 9:51. Bam. Look, numbers are a lot of confirmation for me. I only see them when I'm supposed to, and that's why I call them out these days. Because again, those kinds of things circle everybody. If you know to pay attention, if you're paying attention. I am so ridiculously channeled in. And again, that's not a gloat. This isn't a put Angel up on a pedestal. That's not what this is. It's just my truth. It's my story. It's my truth. And I have been so deeply ingrained, in those connections. We'll get into the whys and hows later. Maybe even tonight. Who knows? We'll see. But it's just a deep ingrained thing. So what I didn't realize is that not everybody did that automatically without trying. I didn't realize that it wasn't normal to have 1,100 tabs open in the subconscious at all times. I honestly didn't truly understand the depths of that until again the last couple years. I mean, it's been a slow learning journey, don't get me wrong, but there were just, I can see now where certain things were not supposed to connect until they did. It is what it is. It is what it is. So with 22:20 now on the clock, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down, and have a little bit of a quick break, because then we're gonna kind of get back into some past, a little bit more raw stuff. It's my story, guys. It's story time. You can always speed up the video if my speech is too slow for you. It happens. It will speed up as well as I sink into the energy of what's going on with all of this. And I think actually when we come back, it's a team, guys. I'm sorry. It's a we. It's a she. It's a me. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, when I come back, I think it's time to probably to sage up the area just a little bit, and get a little bit deeper on some childhood stuff that has connected through the years and always made sense, but now makes complete and utter sense to me and my world and my person and my truth and my story. And I hope that these stories will definitely help you too. Yeah, people don't want to come on here and talk about themselves. It's a taboo thing. Talk about yourself all the time. It's not about talking about myself to talk about myself. It's very much so to help you guys learn and be guided through your own stories with my stories, through my stories. I have spent my lifetime learning from other people's stories. And we've been now taught that it's bad again. It's like politics or religion. Like, shh, don't talk about you. Nah. It's time to talk about us, in my humble opinion. So until a few minutes later, here in just a few minutes, I'll be back. Thanks for stopping by, those that decide to stop by and bless this area. Let's throw out. Yeah, that just hit me. So it's a necessary. Necessary. This is something that I also did not know was a part of my entire life, and we will get into that as well. But for the meantime, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. What you send to me, good, bad, ugly, will be sent, is automatically sent right back to karma. And as I have stated for my entire life, karma is my friend. She's my very good friend. I respect her. I respect her duties, and I don't try to take them on as my duties. I know where my duties lie. So, evil eye, envy eye, the good, the bad, the ugly will most definitely ship right back to karma. What kind of karma are you building in your life in 2022? Because these are extremely fast-moving times. They just are. They're everywhere. Until next time, y'all. I love you. Bye-bye.